Everyone, we're going to do something different in a book that I'm going to share with you today, and we're going to take one excerpt a day. So this book is entitled Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History. It's written by Vashti Harrison, and it has, if you look at the table of contents, let's look together. Bold women in Black history. It says, to all the women whose stories are in this book, thank you for being leaders. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for being bold. We are grateful and we are inspired. To all the leaders yet to come, big or little, I cannot wait to hear your stories. Excuse me. So what the author did is she's taken a number of ladies you see, and she's going to share with us. So let's look at the first one. Phillis Wheatley. Her life was, she was born in 1758 and she died in 1753, excuse me. So let's read about Phillis Wheatley. Phillis's literary skills were apparent early on. She published her first story when she was only about 14 years old. For anyone, this would be a major feat. But Phillis was a slave, so it was truly unique. Her original name, date of birth, and exact birthplace are all unknown. When she was only 8 years old, she was taken from her home in Africa and sold to a trader, then transported across the Atlantic to Boston, Massachusetts, aboard a ship named the Phillis. She was then resold to a man named John Wheatley, who purchased her to be a personal servant to his wife. The Wheatleys soon recognized her intelligence and began to nurture it. They taught Phillis everything from theology to mythology, an education that was rare for a woman and nearly unheard of for a woman of color. With the family's backing, she traveled to England to publish her first book, Poems on Various Subjects, Religious and Moral. She was the first African-American woman poet ever to be published. She corresponded with George Washington and the famous French writer and philosopher Voltaire, who called her a master of English verse. Her work was so powerful that abolitionists used it as an example of the intelligence and promise of Black people. In 1767, she was emancipated. Unfortunately, she struggled financially and lived in poverty for the rest of her life. She received a great deal of praise during her lifetime, but validation from white society was integral to her success, and it never came. She continued writing, but was not able to find a publisher in America. Her natural talent and body of work live on as fundamental contributions to American literature. So that was the first excerpt on Phillis Wheatley. And Black History Month is coming up in February. This is January 2023. So we'll hear about one little leader, bold women in Black history every single day. So if you like this, press like at the end and I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in at Cindy Harper Speaks.